Hello, welcome to the stream. I had to sign into YouTube again on OBS, but you can't do that until you start a stream, so sorry that took so long. I have a strong password. Anyways, I would like to know how you doing. Have you enjoyed the recent YouTube, Reaper updates? And how was your summer or whatever time period it's been since I last saw you? Um, the Yeah, hopefully everything's working. Hopefully you can clear me, or you can hear me, everything's clear. It says excellent connection on my end, so hopefully that is correct. And yeah, so what we're doing today is playing with the Behringer Edge, which is a drum synth based on the Moog DFAM. It's a pretty cool synth. Um, it's it definitely is capable of making noise, and it can do some fun things. Uh, but yeah, it can be really noisy and like annoying, and sometimes, if with a little effort, it can sound really good. So we've got a overhead camera set up. It is a little shaky just because it being the camera far away amplifies any sort of movement. It's attached to the ceiling, but still there's some movement from cables and stuff. Hello, Davi. Hello, the Rick Ashes solo band. So, oh yeah, and I should say, like, everything that I do today will be saved and edited into a sample pack or something for YouTube members and for Patreons. So, there will be links down below. I'm sure there's a button to join as a YouTube member and links to my Patreon as well. I think it's patreon.com/thereaperblog. So, yeah, just let me know how you're doing. If you have Reaper questions, just send them along and I will get to them. But let's first start off with a patch here. So I'm just going to hit record in Reaper and we'll get started. You tell me, if it's a good level and all that sort of stuff, or and at some point you can suggest patch points and things like that. So the first question that's come in so far is this a VST? As far as I know, there's no VST version of this. This is a synth that requires patching. So I mean, it's probably possible to do it in a VST using like a mod matrix or something like that. But I think the fun is that there's hands-on control. So just a brief overview. I'll play it so you have an idea of how it sounds. Let's hit record. All right, so I've got some reverb and delay on that as well, just because I think it makes it sound better in general. So it's basically two oscillators. They can be square or triangle wave. You can choose to have it follow the pitch knobs down here in the sequencer. There's an 8-step sequencer with pitch and velocity controls. Tempo, and then there's different sync options for if you have it connected to USB or using the clock. There's a clock advanced patch port or the MIDI port. Second oscillator can do hard sync, which matches like the starting point of the oscillator to the previous oscillator. And then there's FM, which is FM is just the frequency of oscillator 1 will control the frequency of oscillator 2, which can be pretty fun. There's a noise generator, there's a analog filter, and that has its own envelope. The VCA output has a decay control, so it has its own envelope, and the oscillator pitch can be controlled with an envelope. Then for patch points, there's oscillator CV, or pitch inputs for 1 and 2, oscillator decay, which is this knob, clock advance is stepping through the sequencer, trigger triggers the sound, velocity, noise level. Then we've got the FM amount, external audio input, which is controlled by this knob here. So it'd be like if there's some low frequency signal coming in, that low frequency wave will control various things. So it could be the filter amount. Yeah, that's the one that's built in. I can't remember. So only the ones that have the white outline on the label is an output. Any of the ones with a black, sorry, I got that backwards. That's an input, and then the outputs are the ones with the black. So yeah, external input can then be assigned to the VCF or the noise control. There isn't a noise output. There isn't a dedicated LFO in here either. Play and stop controls. So if you're connected this to a modular environment, you can do that. Have everything kind of run in sync. VCF mod is the filter. That was a thing that confused me at first. I think I spent the first 2 days thinking, oh, there's no way to control the cutoff from a patch point. But VCF mod is basically cutoff frequency in a different word. In other synths that I have, like on my Moog Mavis, its patch point says cutoff. So that was confusing for me, but now I know. VCF decay is this knob. VCA CV is basically the volume output as a something you can control from an oscillator, an external LFO, trigger point or something like that. If controlling that with a very high frequency signal can be pretty interesting, but it's hard to actually control the volume at that point. So then there's outputs for each of the oscillators, the oscillator envelope generator, a trigger, which is each of the steps, whether it's high velocity or not. Whatever the velocity control position is at, pitch is the pitch knob for each step. VCF envelope is this knob here. And VCA is the output volume, essentially. Yeah, but not controlled by the volume control. And the VCA envelope generator is basically this decay knob and the fast and slow attack speed. And then there's finally the main output. So it kind of seems simple because it's just 2 oscillators and a noise generator, but being able to change pitch and velocity for each step, and then sort of like how, yeah, I mean, there's more than meets the eye with this. So I think it's been pretty fun learning this. So the current patch I have, which sounds like this, that's taking the pitch amount and controlling the noise level. So on step 4 here, step 2 and 4 and 7, 8, that's so the ones with the pitch low, I'm just using as another volume control, essentially, dedicated to the noise. So I'm sort of adding it. I've got a kick sound or a kick and bass sound plus a snare sound. So sort of like a kick and snare sort of sound. How are the new wood things holding up on the Edge? I really like the appearance. It was definitely worth doing. I can still see a bit of a gap here. It's not right here in this corner. I gotta tweak that a little bit. It didn't come out perfectly like parallel, um, but just the angle is so much better on the desk, and like, yeah, just spending the hour or whatever it was making that like made me appreciate the synth even more. Really sorry about the shaking. It I don't think I can improve the shake on this camera at all. I would love a fresh coffee, but I'm trying to cut back because 2 coffees leads to 3 coffees. That third coffee is the most important meal of the day. All right, so I'm going to unpatch that, and here's how it sounds. Let me record this. So there's no noise being triggered anymore. Turning up the noise adds the noise signal to each one based on the velocity. And I'll control the pitch. And switching to triangle wave. Let's go to just one oscillator. So yeah, you can really get some interesting sounds. I'm just going to trigger these so I get some one shots. Okay. Okay. What's the workflow with synths and oscillators? Seems that with the oscillation, it's near impossible to duplicate something. So do you just record and stop when you like what happened that pass? Yeah, basically. You can also control, like, send USB clock to it, and it makes it a little easier to sync everything up. Because right now, like, the sequencer is not controlled by Reaper, so my recordings are not going to be to a grid or anything like that. But yeah, basically, I just go in, trim the start, and then figure out what the tempo is, and then yeah, sync it up with stuff. I actually haven't tried to like make a song with this, or really synchronize it with other devices too much. I've got some other hardware synths that you can't see because I don't have a camera over there. But I've got the Behringer RD6, which is like the TR606, I think it is. A Korg Volca sample, which is just a what is it, 16 sample little groove box thing. A Moog Mavis. I've got the Behringer Poly D, which is like a Moog. All those synths and the Edge go into a mixer where I have reverb and delay applied, and I can balance things. I've got EQ on that as well. And on my other side, I've got a full-size MIDI controller and a Korg Metilog XD. Yeah, basically just record it on its own and use that as inspiration. It, I don't, like, there's so many different ways of connecting synths to Reaper. You can control them with MIDI. You can record them just as audio, as an audio instrument. You can record both at the same time or just monitor the audio, perfect the MIDI, send it back out, sort of reamp it. So MIDI playing out of Reaper into the synth. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, there's so many possibilities, and there's like different situations where they're the right thing. But yeah, for now I'm just using it as its own instrument, kind of building up loops and one shots and seeing what that inspires. So yeah, let's. Where are we at with this one? So the envelope control on the oscillator is basically a pitch bend. So it's in the positive position. It the pitch goes upward. And for how long is this knob here, the VCO decay? So pitch bend and then the volume. Like how long is the tail? Should record. So these are like very like chiptunes type retro sounds. All right, so I'm going to set this up to be sort of like a kick, I guess. Let's set the sequencer to only... Yeah, so the pitch isn't controlled by the sequencer anymore. Let's do... No, I did that wrong. Sometimes I have a hard time, like, seeing the knob positions. I don't know why. Just the mic in my face doesn't help, but yeah. So it's just a steady kick. So more envelope will start at a higher pitch and go down to whatever pitch you set with the frequency knob. And so that adds a lot of punch to the sound, adding more high frequencies at the start of it. Too far, it starts to sound like a zap. But I like it about there where you're kind of getting like that punchy sound. All right, so let's switch to oscillator 2. There isn't a way to quantize the pitch, so there's such a huge pitch range that it's very difficult to make a real melody with it. So just sort of going random with it. So this is the FM, so frequency modulation, combining the frequencies of oscillator 1 and 2, basically making this second knob move based on whatever frequency is coming out of the oscillator combined with the envelope. So for each trigger, it's going up in pitch, coming down by this amount, combined with this, and then there's the position of this. It's all very complicated, but it gets kind of crazy. Which kind of fun. Let's hear how that sounds with the sort of kick sound. And let's bring in the filter and control that with an envelope. And then this is an interesting thing. So the noise signal, whether it's pink or white, can be used as a modulator for the cutoff. So think about white noise, it's constantly moving very, very fast. So you can blend in that signal into, like, to control the position. Imagine it's just like wildly waving all over the place. And the result of that is sort of a distortion. Which kind of resembles the original signal, just it's the cutoff frequency. The filter is actually moving so fast that it creates white noise. It's pretty interesting, but a little bit just kind of just adds a little bit of fuzz. Blending in a little bit of noise on every step. Blend in some reverb and delay. It's already sounding a lot better. All right, and I'll just trigger a couple one-shots. Okay, as I said earlier, I'm recording everything so that this can be chopped up for YouTube members and patrons. So that's what it looks like so far. We've got almost 10 minutes. Yeah, so let's get into patching things around. So for example, instead of controlling the cutoff frequency with the noise amount or an external input, we can set the VCF mod, which is this knob, to, let's do oscillator 2. So we'll turn off oscillator 2 so we don't hear it. It might be hard to actually hear this. All right, can you hear how that's going beep, 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 beep? That is a very slow oscillator on square wave. So it's going from a low value to a high value very quickly, like with a step. And now it's going like at audio rate. So this knob controls the amount of that, of how much signal is going between these through the cable. Now it sounds really weird. Okay, so that was using oscillator 2 to control the filter cutoff frequency position very rapidly. So we could also do, I feel like one of the best things to do is using pitch for the noise amount. I did show it at the beginning, but it's such a useful thing. Let's take the oscillator 1 frequency and control oscillator 2. And that's kind of what the FM amount does, but it's a little different. Oh, sorry. We're taking out 2, so this oscillator, controlling the position of this knob. Yeah. So oscillator 2 controls oscillator 1. We're only hearing oscillator 1. That's pretty fun. Sen, can you guys suggest? I just got this for the name. No. I don't know. I saw a video on it. Like, like it just flew under my radar. Like so it's a clone of the DFAM from Drummer from Another Mother from Moog, but that synth is so expensive that I would never consider buying it. And then this one came out, and a few months went by, and I didn't even realize that it was based on the DFAM. And then, so I saw some videos, and then when I went to go buy it, it was basically unavailable. And we spent like 8 months trying to find one. There weren't any used ones, and no new ones available for a decent price. I didn't want to get on a waiting list for it. So finally bought it. I don't remember the cost. but it's a pretty decent price, like cheaper than the other used ones that I've seen. And I enjoy it. It's a weird synth. It's not like any of the other synths I have. So and the used seller gave me 13 extra cables, I think. It's pretty fun to, patch in a bunch of stuff. So let's take the oscillator, what was it? Oscillator 2 and control the VCA. So now the volume control, whether... Okay, so I didn't even press play yet. And it's because the VCA is always going. The oscillators are always moving in a synth. Getting an interesting signal from that. Okay. So pitch can be set to oscillator 1 and 2 or just 2. You can patch one thing into the pitch output and then control something else with it. So, you could take the pitch output and control the tempo, which is kind of weird. If you can follow these lights. Oh, that reminds me. So you can come up with like a basic sound, right? And then speed it up like to insane amount. To the point where it doesn't sound like a sequence at all anymore, using the sequencer as kind of like an oscillator. That's kind of fun. Like, these are things that like you don't think to do with a VST because you don't have all the hands-on control. You don't have like the tempo control that goes up into audio rate, things like that. So this is a small step into modular land, and yeah, it's pretty fun. I had some complicated patches, and I can't think of them off the top of my head anymore. So, like, I was using splitters. I guess I was probably using a secondary sequencer. I'm trying to remember how to do it. Do you guys have any suggestions for what to do with this? Like, patch ideas? we could, like, if we did oscillator 1 to external audio, and then turn up the, yeah. So in this case, oscillator 1 goes through the cable into external input, which is kind of in the noise section. It's normal to VCF mod. You can also use the filter oscillator, or the filter resonance, as another oscillator. But that's pretty standard for, you know, for any analog synth. In this marketing, it says something like the sequencer can patch to 15 destinations. They mean using a multiplier device. I think they just mean any of these white areas here. That looks like 15, any of these white ones. So it can patch into itself or into or from other devices or to other devices. So when they're saying like patch into, like, you can take the velocity, that's this row of knobs, or the pitch, the top row of knobs, and each of these positions as it goes through each step can do another thing. So like pitch can control velocity if you wanted. Kind of the standard thing is like pitch to control noise level. I'm gonna try to get my external sequencer over here, but it's kind of tricky. It's just the power cables are too short to do it. But might have to just deal with only the CV signal coming in. So let's see if this stretches. No, not quite. All right, so I'm going to do the step advance or clock input is linked to a external sequencer. If you watched a lot of the streams, you've probably seen it before, but it's a 16-step. Like imagine these, but there's 16 little sliders with a red LED on it, on each one. If you want to look it up, it's the 16-step sequencer from Ruchi Electronics. You can find it on Etsy. Oh, I lost the power. Okay, so let's take the CV out from that and go to the oscillator 1 CV, I guess. Let's turn that up. So I can control the speed from the external device. Got it set to like 7 steps or something right now. So it sends out a pulse signal of different values. Speed it up. I swear I did get some interesting sounds with this before. So let's do this. Let's try to get a kick sound. Yeah, let's just do that. Got a kick sound before. Yeah. And then using oscillator 2, CV. Let's try to get those glitchy, computery sounds. And if we actually don't want it to be synchronized, that's sort of fun. Let's do a VC F mod as well. This is what the sequencer looks like. I just can't power it away from my rack. That's pretty cool. So at this point, I think I want some noise mixed in. And so we would do that, probably take the pitch control. Maybe some effects on it. So let's do pitch to VCF mod and noise level. So that's using the external sequencer to control velocity and oscillator 2 frequency. That's kind of fun too. Oscillator 2. external audio input? Why not? Hey, that sounds pretty cool. So sometimes just like randomly patching things makes it sound pretty cool. Yeah, fun stuff. Yeah, we're now at like 20 minutes of recordings. Yeah, Ruchi's got some cool stuff. 4x4 matrix. I have to look at that. I would definitely recommend the sequencer. I want to get some sort of dedicated LFO. Because just something that can do a really super slow sweep would be useful for with the Edge. I'm not sure exactly for what. But yeah, just to have that available. I've seen some things that are just like a single, like a little plug, like hardly bigger than the size of a patch tip that has like a little knob on it for, I think I've seen them as filters. I don't know if I've seen them as LFOs. Just like a simple passive, I guess it doesn't need to be passive technically. Would it? Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I've seen them. They seem interesting. All right. Any Reaper questions while we take a break? The 4x4 is perfect for making feedback loops with pedals. Yeah. One fun thing about this device is that it's cheaper than Eurorack MIDI to CV modules. Oh. Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that. I don't have enough really like Eurorack stuff. I've got the Edge and I've got the Moog Mavis, and they're the only sort of Eurorack devices, even though I know they're not exactly Eurorack. Yeah, I guess you don't see MIDI to CV very often. I actually don't know how that would work. But through the MIDI, I know that you can get note on. Note off is determined by the VCA decay level. And there's times when you sequence something and it sort of doesn't trigger because the decay is too long to re-trigger. Yeah. Gate, pitch, velocity. Yeah, I tried something over MIDI and USB MIDI, and I wasn't able to like program it kind of how I thought. Like programming a melody did not work for me, but maybe it's just me. So that's the trigger output. Trigger input could be BCF mod. That. Yes. can use trigger to send to other devices like this thing. I built this on a stream once. And this is kind of like one of these oscillators in a way, because it's got square or triangle decay. It has a built-in LFO. That's I guess that's the other difference. But it doesn't have any other modulators. There's trigger CV input. Again, I don't have a way of connecting that on the desk so that you can actually see it. So CV out, no, that's clock. So let's do clock advance. And then CV out can go to oscillator 1 pitch. And sort of like marimba-like. It's kind of fun. You can sort of get like woody, like percussion sounds. So the sequencer is still going, and it's still triggering like random values for the oscillator 1 CV. I keep moving it. sequencer triggering oscillator 2. For whatever reason, it sounds different than oscillator 1 right now. And oh, because it's also taking the pitch from the sequencer. Yeah. Can it do FM? Yeah, there's oscillator 1 and 2 FM control. Yeah, quantizing it is kind of the downfall of it. So if you could get it in tune with anything, it would be nice. But that's pretty tricky. I almost never use the envelope in the negative position. But I guess if you wanted to do like a bubble sound. Not for me. So there's with the FM. Turn off the noise. And with hard sync. what it's gonna do. Oscillator. That's what I wanted. I wanted the 1 and 2. There we go. So the envelope generator for oscillator 1 and 2 is now controlling the FM amount. That makes it quite meaty sounding. Friends don't let friends buy Behringer. Do your research. Well, I don't even know you. So, no. I mean, basically, if I didn't have Behringer products, I wouldn't have any products. So, everything that I have that's Behringer has been great. I have a few problems with the X-Touch, but I don't think it's a quality control issue. Really needs some quantizing. I think that would be fun. But I assume that a Eurorack quantized module has got to be expensive and not something you can really DIY. I do not have a Eurorack power supply, so it's not an easy fix. Though maybe like through MIDI, if you can do pitch, then I suppose. I don't know. All right, so let's switch gears. That's enough of that for now. That is like over 30 minutes of recordings that I will need to cut up. So let me just save my project. Edging session. And let's move those files. Reaper questions, anyone? Questions about anything? How am I? Hungry. Yeah. So on my second channel, I was doing the build days stuff, and there's a couple days where I didn't record anything, like film. I didn't film anything. I didn't really make any progress on that, and then I felt really bad about it. But then, I just kind of got over it, and now I'm just working on stuff um, as I feel like it, and making progress that I feel good about. And yeah, it's been really good to be able to like make things and talk about things other than Reaper or music production. Um, but yeah, like the challenge of making a video every day and things like that are like, you know, it's a fun challenge, but it's not really that important. Like maintaining the habit isn't as important. And I've already like, I feel like really improved on like how the effort I will put in to filming something these days just because of this challenge or because of the daily vlog that I did last month, things like that. So where I didn't use my GoPro or what's the other one, Osmo Pocket 2 for like 6 months. I didn't use them. They were giving me no value, and now I'll turn them on, use them like without much second thought. And I've also improved that workflow so that I can monitor it better and things like that. And then learning DaVinci Resolve over the past month, I'm able to make those videos look better as well. So yeah, the the friction to actually picking up a camera and using it these days is much smaller, or there's less friction. I don't know how you would say it. There's less friction where it used to be. I mean, I went 6 months or something without turning those cameras on. So now that I'm making a video, multiple videos a week, using them, that's a huge improvement, and I'm happy about that. I'm surprised that there are only about 4 or 5 people in here today. Uh, maybe it's a weird time of day. Didn't announce it. Didn't tell anyone I was going live. But like 70 something thousand subscribers, you would think that there'd be more than 4 people here. Anyways, yeah, I guess no one has any Reaper questions today, and that's fine. I just broke my pen. That's what you get when you fidget. Oh well. The Edge makes a wicked kick. I think so too. I'm not great at that, at doing that, but yeah, we got some good recordings today, I think. Some one shots. Wish list features for Reaper. Not that it isn't dope. Wish list features for Reaper. One of the ones that frequently comes up is having a second video monitor. So you could have a full screen video window on a projector or a second monitor and have an embedded, like have the video window on your screen. This would be helpful for anyone recording Foley or voiceover, ADR, things like that. Having a full screen video for talent. So this isn't something that I would use myself, but I think it's an important missing feature. I've got others that one just kind of always is top of mind for whatever reason. Being able to do LUTs in the video processor would be really cool. I'm sure it's possible with some crazy coding, but right now it's not possible. Link out to VCA decay. Oh, link envelope generator to VCA decay. Okay. So like oscillator generator to VCA decay. Oh, not record enabled. That's new. That's a new sound for me. All right. Let's record that. That's a thick kick. VCF envelope generator to... Wait, what? One down in the black. Oh, there may be a delay. Anyway, that's enough of the edge. We're gonna move on. Looking for here. Had it right. Okay, I recorded it. I will try to remember what I did and experiment with that more. Let me think of other Reaper features. I feel like I had a list at some point. I have very few complaints about Reaper. Yeah, I could give you like 50 features that annoy me or confuse me or are missing from DaVinci Resolve, but for Reaper, like 4, something like that. There's various things that like I wish would be fixed just so I don't have to talk about it anymore. Like to have less menus and better default shortcuts, or at least easier to comprehend. Sure. Yeah, for making it more beginner friendly. I think they did try that with Reaper 7 and a little bit with Reaper 6 as well. Because I think it was Reaper 7, the the menus got reorganized. Things got renamed quite a bit with that one, and that was all Kenny's suggestions. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm searching my notes app, and I don't have any like feature request documents. I'd have to check on the Reaper forum and do a search there for things that I have uh, that I've requested over the years. Search for thread started. There we go. Yeah, let's do this screen. So filtered fades, we got the low frequency fade recently, which is pretty cool. That was something I requested in 2018, I think it was. And then after that, I just totally forgot about it. It hasn't come up too often. Dynamic split, adding a MIDI note of a fixed pitch. So if you do the, just never find it, dynamic split tool. So when you're using the dynamic split tool and you do selected items, and you do create chromatic MIDI, so it's chromatic. It goes from note 0 up to however many notes there are. But then most of the time you're doing that, you're working with drums, right? So all of those notes have to be selected and then snapped to a single pitch. That's just kind of annoying. So just being able to like say D2 or note 36 right within this window would be very helpful. So when I do a feature request, I usually include a mock-up. So I just do a little edit here. So create chromatic MIDI now becomes create MIDI single note pitch. Get to choose the pitch, or chromatic MIDI, and then it'd be this one or this one, and that's it. So let's support. Oh yeah, the rooster sound. That was solved by, who was that? Mio Ada Mespatin. They made a script that was perfect. So when Reaper finishes a render, my friend Ryan's voice saying "amaze balls" happens. I did a video on that. A stop marker. Oh, just being able to make markers of certain names and recall them or insert them a little bit easier would be nice, like a built-in function for that, because I never remember the names of the scripts that actually do that. Preventing the screensaver during recording, I think, would be cool, because like media players like VLC, we were watching a full screen video like a DVD, the screensaver is not going to pop up. But when you're recording in Reaper and the computer sits idle for 10 minutes or whatever, then the screensaver comes up. I hate that. I've panicked because like I set my screensaver just to black, so I panic for a second and I think that the power's gone out, but then I realize, oh, I can still hear myself. I'm still recording, things like that. But during a podcast, like there's probably 10 times in my life that I've had a slight panic because I thought that the recording stopped or my computer crashed. It was just a screensaver because I haven't touched the mouse in a few minutes. Right drag to select tracks. Oh yeah. So it takes forever for a Reaper user to get used to being able to right drag over things. But then once you get used to it, you try to do that in a project that has a lot of tracks. You try to right drag over the TCP area or the mixer view. Yeah, it'd be nice to have that option these days. They finally gave us controls over in the mouse modifiers, like the track control panel for mouse wheel and mouse horizontal wheel. So this was added, let's say, 2 months ago, maybe. But that was, yeah, you could not control that before. Track control panel and also the mixer control panel, mouse wheel. But yeah, no right drag on that yet. Reaper is super easy to pick up. I don't think so. I think it's pretty hard. I found, like, it took me a year, but that was like Reaper 3 2.8 or something like that to Reaper 3, something like that. I think 3.2 is when I bought my license, or 320 was when I bought my license. It took me a really long time to even like it. At first it was just because I was a Pro Tools LE and M powered user at that point. It would, if I had a guitar idea, it would take like 4 minutes to start a Pro Tools session, and with Reaper it was like 10 seconds, and I had VST access, so like that was a major thing. I could use all my favorite free VSTs in Reaper, and so that's kind of one of the first things that like made me consider it. But just all the different shortcuts and things, like I didn't want to customize it, I guess, at first. Would I consider making a video on the Nabla looper? Probably not. I'm very bad with looper effects and scripts and things like that. I even bought this. What's this called? Launchpad Mini for the, what the hell is the word? Playtime script. I bought Playtime. I bought that to go with Playtime. I tried for like a day or two to get comfortable with it and was not able to actually make music with it. So, huge waste of money in a way. Not that they're bad products. Like, Playtime is pretty incredible. I just have a very difficult time making loop-based music like that. I'd need to do it in the timeline, I think. And yeah, just the real-time looping stuff, can't do it. Wish it could. So over the years, looks like I've posted 39 feature requests to the Reaper forum. Click and drag to change numerical values. That was in 2010. I asked for that. Verispeed record warning. That one actually was kind of sort of implemented. That is, let me resize this. So there's this rate control in the track control panel area, and if it's moved, it turns green. That was from my request. Not exactly how I wanted it. I wanted a pop-up to prevent it. That's still good. I believe that's from that request originally. Add a monitoring effects chain button to the transport. I think I just solved that myself. but I think that would be worth having. Disable control surfaces during render. Yeah, that was my request, and that was completed. Nope, not that one. I don't know when they completed that. I didn't mark it as done. But yeah, I think that's a Reaper 7 or late Reaper 6 feature that I requested. At that point, I was talking to them directly, not just to the forum. So it's a little easier to get feature requests in to them that way. Databases support drag and drop from Finder and other apps. They must have fixed that because I don't even know what that means anymore. I wonder if that's still the case. Square envelope points ignoring action transition time. Right, so I set default point shape? I'll set the default point shape to square, and then what do I do? P, set the volume, P, and so it looks like it doesn't ignore the action transition time. If I did this, it wouldn't have that issue. Yeah, I think that request is still valid. Hasn't bothered me frequently because I usually do that kind of thing in other ways, but yeah, it'd be nice if it would snap. Although that was with a linear control. So let's do this. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be good if that snapped to the actual edges. The action transition time is this setting here. All right, so if there's no more questions, let's wrap up for the day. Thank you so much for watching. What am I looking for? Thanks for watching. Yeah. Leave some comments if you made it this far in the recap or the end of the video or whatever. And let me know what you want to see on the Reaper blog. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching.